name is Denise Eastlake. I work for DAC Beechcroft. I have been there for just over 9 years, actually. So I joined in 2007 into the property damage insurance team in London. So we act for insurers and their insureds where there's a fire or flood or a huge variety of property damage claims, whether it's bringing recovery actions, so acting sort of as the claimant, or whether we're defending claims, depending on their insured, basically. I hadn't done any insurance before I joined, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just wanted to do litigation, but actually loved it and loved the team, loved the work, liked the clients. I didn't have a plan, but I've been there 9 years and I still really enjoy it. I was made an associate after 5 years, so in 2011, in the May. And then in December of that year, I went on maternity leave with my first child. My son, Sebastian, just turned 4. Then I came back and worked 4 days a week. In August 2014, I went on maternity leave again with my second, had a daughter. So she's 15 months. And then returned to work 3 days a week in October. Essentially, my job has stayed the same. I just do it fewer days a week. The cases I have are the same. And in fact, I actually still have some of the cases I had before I went on maternity leave the first time around, because sometimes they take such a long time from the time the fire or the flood happens until, you know, it's settled, or you pursue a recovery action. So I still have 2 that have been ongoing for 6 years. And that's quite nice, actually, because you come back and you just pick it up almost where you left off. You know, you can see what's happened on the file while in the year you've been away, but some claims can be quite slow moving. And so that actually is quite nice. And in fact, actually, I'm now more qualified than I was before I went off. So I, have even greater responsibility for junior fee earners coming up through the firm. I manage them and supervise them. But it, really is the same. I just do it fewer days. I think the first time when you go on maternity leave, it can be quite daunting. You think, gosh, a year is such a long time. And I was actually off for 13 months both times. And you think, oh, my clients will forget who I am, my colleagues will, move on, or they'll be looking at my files and think, oh, what has she done? And actually, when you come back, you realise that for the people who have just picked up your file, they're just babysitting it and they just give it back to you. And it's quite reassuring when you come back to see that very few things change, and you just slot back in. So in a way, going off the second time, you have the confidence that well, it's going to be fine. Working 3 days rather than 4 days has shifted it, because obviously the majority of my time, of my week, is at home. And that is a lot easier with 2. So that has changed. But other than that, I would say that coming back after 2 is certainly no harder, if not easier, than coming back after 1. We have lots of people, lots of the women work part-time. And so we're quite used to supporting each other, making each other aware of what days we're in. We try and dovetail, so we're not off on the same days. We try and keep each other updated as to, if there's something that we know is going to come in, or a court deadline, we'll cover for each other. And so it's really just making it a supportive environment so that you have the confidence when you're not there that your files will be looked after. Obviously, I put in flexible working requests to go part-time, and I had no problem having those signed off. I guess that there's a trust there that they know that you can do the work on a part-time basis. There have been other colleagues who've worked 3 days before, and so they know it can work. I think what I would say to other mums before they come back is don't worry. You're more focused when you come back to work, you're more efficient, you'll be amazed how quickly you can do something when you're switched on and you've got to get away at 5:30 or whatever time it is. And so I think you're better, actually, because when you don't have a deadline at the end of the day, it's the same that a job will expand to fill the time. And I remember it before I had kids, and you think, gosh, is it 7 o'clock already? Right, I'll go home. Whereas you just don't have that luxury now. So you're much more on it and you're much more focused. And I think I think, as I say, all the statistics shows that returning to work mums, and I'm sure dads as well, who have to get home for a particular time, make really good employees and really, really good workers. So actually I think it's sort of have confidence that you'll be fine. The best thing is the cuddles they give you. You never experience anything like it. The squeeze and that just the way they're looking to your eyes and you're the best thing to them in the whole universe. You're everything. And yeah, there's nothing like it.